second day, we went on a day tour of the Zaanse Schans, which is about 30 minutes north of Amsterdam. The Zaanse Schans is a place where they've decided to preserve a lot of their historic buildings and windmills, and actually a lot of the windmills still work and operate today. And one of the first things that we noticed when we arrived was the smell of chocolate. The whole place smelled like chocolate. It was amazing, and that's because they're actually still processing chocolate in these windmills. Now, it's not only windmills that they have here, they also preserve a lot of the historic buildings. They all have this beautiful green color and these intricate gables on their roofs that kind of remind me of the townhomes in Amsterdam. People actually live in these buildings and take care of them, so you'll see a lot of gardens and decorations and makes them look very nice. And the whole place is kind of set up like a little country village. They have farm animals out here like goats and chickens. They have demonstrations of historical trades like a cooper who makes barrels. And if you like beer, you might have heard of this label on the barrel. And check out this awesome playground made by the cooper. Next up, we have a wooden shoe demonstration, and check out all these different variations on the wooden shoe. We have these intricate ones here, and then you also have this one full of diamonds. Check that one out. And inside, you can actually get a demonstration of how they make shoes. And he's demonstrating kind of the old way that they used to shape the outside of the shoe using that blade. And then for the inside, they use this hand drill that kind of bore out the inside of the wooden shoe.
To make it by hand takes 2 hours. On the machines nowadays, 5 minutes. The principle of the machines is simple. It's a copy machine that works the same way as duplicating a key. Model on one side, the knives take away the wood on the other side. Machine is dan kopiëren, machine dat is gelijk principe.
Now this is a pretty amazing machine. It's going to take an exact copy of the one on the right.
Here we go.
Here, I'll speed this up for you.
And then we have the outside shape.
Now to get the inside of the shoe, it's a similar process. You can see here there's 2 prongs that are sticking out. One of them is measuring already completed shoe, and then the second one is actually drilling the inside of the second shoe. And there you have it. That's how they make the wooden shoes, and here's Martha modeling a pair. After the wooden shoe demonstration, we walked around and took some photos and grabbed some lunch where we found this awesome Dutch pancake oven. Look at this thing. I totally want one for my house. And then after that, we went ahead and went to a cheese making demonstration and tried some wonderful, delicious Dutch cheese, the Gouda. And here's a quick demonstration of how they make the cheese.
How we make cheese here in Holland. After my explanation, you can try a variety of cheeses in our cheese shop.
Yay!
In the morning, we're putting our milk in this container and we heat the milk about 29 centigrades. This is a very important centigrades for this liquid, the rennet. In the old days, we used this rennet. This comes from the animals. But now we use microbiolic rennet, which is made from the plants. So our cheese is 100% vegetarian. After 30 minutes, the milk is thick. So this is a pudding. And we're going to cut the thick milk by 3 special knives, like you can see in the mirror. By cutting the thick milk, we separate it into whey and curd. 90% is whey and 10% is curd. We don't use the whey, some of us drink it. It's very good for your health. I drink it too. Look at me, I'm 55 years old. I'm just kidding, I'm 25. We put a curd in this 1 kilo balls. And we put this under the press. So the last whey is coming out and all the curd can stick together. After 4 till 5 hours under the press, we put the cheese in the salt water bath. The salt water bath is 20% salt and 80% water. This is very important for the salty taste of the cheese, but also to preserve it. After 24 hours in the salt water bath, we dry the cheese. We also put a special wax on it. This wax is very important because you can keep our cheeses for 4 months inside your refrigerator or 2 months outside your refrigerator. When we dry the cheeses, it's 4 till 5 weeks for young cheese, 6 till 7 months for middle old cheese, and 1 year or longer for an old cheese. And this cheese is 3 years old. As you can hear, it's very hard. If you do not like cheese, just bore 3 holes in it. You can also use this bowling ball. The taste of this cheese is very salt, a very strong taste. Very nice combination with dry red wine. So we make different kinds of cheese in Holland, but we only make Gouda cheese. In Holland we pronounce it as Gouda. The red is the natural, yellow is the pepper, green is the herbs and garlic, brown is the fenugreek. The fenugreek is a seed from India and it tastes a little bit like nuts. And the other green is the pesto cheese. Then we also have this cheese. This looks a little bit like a sausage. This one is called smoked cheese. You can eat the brown cover around it. It's the most delicious part of it, so don't throw it away. So this is how we make the cheese in Holland. I'll show you how we slice it. We are a small country, but we have 2 great inventions. The slicer and the grater. I'll show you how the slicer works. Wow. You can also try this cheese in our shops, so we just look at this trend. I'll show you how the grater works. This one is very handy for spaghetti, macaroni, pizza. You can use it on carrots or potatoes. This was my explanation. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. And oh my gosh, the cheese that they had at this place was amazing. There's so many different varieties of cheeses, and they had it all kind of laid out around this huge kind of elliptical table. And unfortunately, I didn't get any photos or videos of it. Now, you don't have to go to the Zaanse Schans to get the cheeses. They're available in different shops throughout Amsterdam and I'm sure the rest of the Netherlands. So here's kind of some examples that I found around the town. So after going to the cheese place, we actually got to tour one of the old windmills that is still operational today. And it's quite fascinating to actually see how the wind actually powers this mill. Check this out. Now this windmill is used to make paint. It uses these large stones that weigh around 6,000 pounds each to actually crush chalkstone or limestone into a fine powder that they use for mixing into paint. Now, they're not running right now because this windmill is not currently in gear. But you can see that cogwheel there that's actually turning from the power of the sails that are outside. That would then power these large stones, crushing anything that got in their way. On the second floor, you can see that wheel that we saw down below, and this is the main shaft that connects to the sails outside. Now these two prong wheels on the left and right there actually control the power to two different areas of the windmill, one of them being the large stones that we saw down below. Here we are on the outside deck of the windmill about halfway to the top, and the material that they actually use on the outside are actually grass reeds. And check out this gorgeous view that you get from the outside deck. And there you have it, the Zaanse Schans. Isn't it a beautiful place? I just fell in love with it because all of the historical places that you can tour, you can get some demonstrations on how they bake different things like the wooden shoes and cheese. And you get to try the cheese, which is one of my favorite parts about it. Now, after we visited the Zaanse Schans, we actually went back to our hotel, the Art Hotel, and we got to meet up with one of our old college friends, Mao Yong, who is actually from the Netherlands. So it was awesome to see her again and meet her new beautiful family. And we sat down and had some appetizers like this beautiful burrata cheese with tomatoes, and actually tried one of the traditional drinks from the Netherlands. And I believe it's pronounced Jenever, and it's kind of like a Dutch gin in a way. It has that very botanical type of taste. It's very strong, and I found it quite delicious. It was very enjoyable. So that is all from our trip to the Netherlands. The next country that we're going to go to is Switzerland, where we get to try some of their famous chocolates, and we actually get to go to the top of Europe, Jungfrau Joch. So I can't wait to share that with you.